That is a huge topic and issue,
I
and it's been
did,
going on for years.
yeah, I did warn you, didn't I? I said this is going to be like, where do we begin? Where do we end?
Well, I suppose, I don't know if you want to call it light at the end of the tunnel, but there was a change in legislation that
Yes,
came into effect on, was it
1st of July.
July of 2024? Got to remember what year we're in. And what is the significance of that legislative change? Tell us what changed.
You did have to ask me that because I'm going to say that it's only now recognised that financial coercion is a crime. That's the only thing I see that's changed.
So the things that we've been talking about,
Is a
these
crime.
situations now that men in particular are putting women into, is now a crime punishable by.
Punishable by law and jail sentence as well if the victim is able to show intent. That's basically it in a nutshell.
Are you aware of any court cases that have already happened?
There's a number that's being currently. There's a number of them, but there's been no. There has been no real prosecution.
Well, I suppose it's early days. It's only been about 6 months since that
Yeah,
legislation changed, and I'm sure that we'll see more because
we
it happens a
will.
lot.
We will see more. We're already seeing that the likes of Africa are suffocating in complaints. There are more complaints now than ever. Told you I'm not politically correct today. There are so many institutions, banks that are creating or setting up. This is how we support DV. This is how we support financial coercion and women in situations. That to me is really, really hard. Only because it's not a matter of the after effect. It's not a matter of here, hey, you'll have $5,000 to start over. It's more than that. Because this coercion can be detected in our institutions, but it's camouflaged and concealed by documentation, and it's not looked at properly. Can I share another example with you?
Please do.
Okay. So, more recently, there was a woman that had been involved with a partner that she had met second time around. She had say, we'll give her a figure, 100,000 from a divorce settlement. She had met this person. They had moved in together. He couldn't obtain funding from his bank, had a home loan. And he basically used every line there is to say, well, you've got a really good ability. You can get a loan online. I really need your help. And all the promises and everything else. So an online application was made. And even though she was reluctant and she asked several questions, she still did it. She got a conditional approval. She got that conditional approval. They had to go into the bank, provide documentation and the other bits and pieces that they needed. He had defaults. She paid out those defaults because that was one of the conditions. They had their standard, the interview and everything else. The loan goes through. They received an extra X amount of money. Not long after that loan goes through, he starts spending. She came to me through word of mouth. We called the bank. She did not. This was the interesting thing. She was so confident when we were speaking, but when the banker was speaking to her and asking certain questions, she felt intimidated and quiet and stupid because she did the application online. And so just asking those basic questions, well, you applied for it, that statement, you applied for it, why did you apply for it? She applied for it because her partner got her to apply for it. Her partner had the defaults. Her partner needed to refinance out of another bank. He couldn't get the loan. So she gets the loan, the bank approve it, the excess funds he starts spending. They then tell her and transfer her to the section of DV, stress, what was it? Not stress, hardship.
And DV is domestic violence.
Domestic violence, sorry. So domestic violence, the whole financial coercion came up. They offered her $5,000 to move so she could move out of the home. No one really listened. I was on the call with her. And so I then suggested we go back to the banker that actually approved this facility. What had happened then was it was very, very clear that that kind of advice or support that they're offering isn't going to do anything. The solution here was that the woman actually banked with the bank. So the funds that were remaining were transferred into her personal account before we called the bank to let the bank know that this is what was really going on. The funds were there, the bank could see. And it was proven then, after we went through the whole exercise, that she was not responsible. She wasn't on title. So during that, when the documents have to be shown into the bank and to get approved and so on, he was the only one on title. Why wasn't that raised? It wasn't raised because he jumped in beforehand and said, oh, we're in the process. This happens a lot. And if it wasn't for that intervention or understanding that she has these extra rights, normal rights actually, not extra rights, they're normal. They're what everyone would have. She would still be lumbered with a debt, a home loan facility that she could only pay because he stopped working. What is this whole situation though? Once the loan was approved, he actually called the police on her. She was trespassing because she wasn't on title. These things happen.
Wow.
But for a professional to just simply accept the word of the person that actually needs the loan to say, we're in the process of it, she had no idea. And she couldn't say a word because he actually was a very aggressive man.
Mm-hmm. Where can people, and women specifically, get help for situations like this if they find themselves in a situation like this? Where should they go to get assistance?
Well, the first thing is the 1-800-RESPECT. Give them a call. Definitely.
I haven't heard of that number. Who is that?
1-800-RESPECT is an organisation that is specifically there for women that are leaving violent situations or hostile situations. So they have a raft of services and areas that they can refer you to and assist you with.
Great. What else? Yeah, say call you. I know you want to say it. I'm going to say it. They should call you. Probably once it's a little bit further advanced, I would say, right? Because you tend to be more of a you step in, unfortunately, once things are known and things are kind of
Pretty
well
bad.
down the path, unfortunately.
What we do a lot of is actually help a number of various lawyers as well when it comes to this kind of situation. But no, we have now set up an area that will provide women, especially, just the basic checklist and understanding of what they can do, even templates to say, these are the things these are the documents, this is what I need. Because the legislation has come through, it's very, very difficult for women to get a hold sometimes of the details they need because they're not given, they're not provided. We've found a lot of situations where even documents that were provided, there are so many elements of inconsistency there that if you aren't looking for it, you won't see it and it all appears legitimate. So there are various areas and we have so many different, which I will share with you the resources, but we have various areas that we can all turn to. And then you've also got your financial counselling, which is a free service.